In our college years, we had to do experiments in chemistry. And before the experiment was done, first we had the lecture from the teacher who would teach us the principles. And then after the lecture, she will bring us to the laboratory. And that is where we practice what she taught us. For example, in a flask of water, we put several chemicals until a spontaneous combustion happens. I'm sure you have seen experiments like this. First, a lecture, the theory, and then the practice. In the Gospel today, Jesus reverses the process. In the Gospel, which is part of the Last Supper narrative, Jesus actually washes the feet of his disciples. And then after washing the feet of the disciples, he taught them a lesson. He said, "No servant is greater than the master. No messenger is greater than the one who sent him." In other words, what he was saying is, I am the master. I have done you a service. I have washed your feet. You also must do the same. So Jesus actually teaches not first by teaching and theory. First, he practices it. He does it before he teaches his disciples. During the time of Jesus, the washing of feet was only done by slaves. Because as you know, they had no shoes. Many of them were barefoot, and some, of course, had sandals in their feet. And so the roads were dusty, and when they went into a house, the slaves were supposed to bring a basin of water and wash the feet of the guests. Only after that would they enter the house. Jesus actually did the opposite. He was the one who washed the feet of his disciples. If you remember in the beginning, St. Peter objected and he said, "Lord, I will not let you wash my feet. I should be the one washing your feet." And Jesus said, "If I do not wash your feet, you have no part in me." And then St. Peter said, "If that is the case, wash even my whole body, from head to toes." And Jesus said, "Those who have faith are clean. They don't need to be washed again." And then Jesus continued washing the feet of his disciples. And we reenact this, we commemorate this every Holy Thursday. The priest removes his vestment, puts on the towel, and washes the feet of 12 people. This is a reenactment of the act of humility of Jesus. So here we see, once again, Jesus giving us an example of service. What is the lesson here, brothers and sisters? It is very simple. That when you lead people, you lead them with humility and service. The big man, as we call it, the president, the priest, the shepherd, is supposed to wash the feet of the disciples, of the sheep. Because in our society today, and even in the church, sometimes those who have authority, those who are in positions of governance, they are the ones who are served. They don't serve. They are the ones who are served. They don't wash the feet. Their feet are washed. And Jesus is telling us that authority means service. It is not position, it is not prestige, it is not an advantage, it is not about money, it is not about accumulating wealth, it is not about power, it is not about domination. Leadership and authority is about service. So if you are not ready to serve, don't accept a position of leadership, because that will be not being true and not being authentic to the meaning of service. We are the shepherds of the people of God. We are the priests. And you, dear seminarians, are being trained to become priests. You are being trained to be humble shepherds, to serve your people, not to have power and authority. Authority is actually for service. It is to give your life for your flock. To give your life for your flock. That you are willing to make sacrifices. You are willing to carry the cross. You are willing to serve your people in lowliness. Let us pray that all our pastors, all our leaders, whether they be in the church or in government, may imitate the example of Jesus, who taught by word and